A well, as round as an apple, as deep as a cup, and all the king's horses can't fill it up. Coffee and tea. Molly, my sister, and I fell out, and what do you think it was all about? She loved coffee, and I loved tea, and that was the reason we couldn't agree. Pussycat Mew. Pussycat Mew jumped over a coal, and in her best petticoat burnt a great hole. Poor Pussy's weeping, she'll have no more milk until her best petticoat's mended with silk. The little girl with a curl. There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. Dreams. Friday night's dream, on Saturday told, is sure to come true, be it never so old. A Cock and Bull Story. The cock's on the housetop blowing his horn, the bull's in the barn a threshing of corn, the maids in the meadows are making of hay, the ducks in the river are swimming away. For baby. You shall have an apple, you shall have a plum, you shall have a rattle when Papa comes home. Myself. As I walked by myself and talked to myself, myself said unto me, Look to thyself, take care of thyself, for nobody cares for thee. I answered myself and said to myself, in the self-same repartee, Look to thyself, or not look to thyself, the self-same thing will be. Over the water. Over the water and over the sea, and over the water to Charlie. I'll have none of your nasty beef, nor I'll have none of your barley, but I'll have some of your very best flour to make a white cake for my Charlie. Candle saving. To make your candles last for aye, your wives and maids give earo. To put them out's the only way, says honest John Boldero. Fears and tears. Tommy's tears and Mary's fears will make them old before their years. The Kilkenny Cats. There were once 2 cats of Kilkenny. Each thought there was 1 cat too many. So they fought and they fit, and they scratched and they bit, till accepting their nails and the tips of their tails, instead of 2 cats, there weren't any. Old Grimes. Old Grimes is dead. That good old man. We never shall see him more. He used to wear a long brown coat, all buttoned down before. A week of birthdays. Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for its living. But the child that's born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay. A chimney. Black within and red without, 4 corners round about. Ladybird. Ladybird, Ladybird, fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children all gone, all but one, and her name is Anne, and she crept under the pudding pan. The Man Who Had Naught. There was a man, and he had naught, and robbers came to rob him. He crept up to the chimney pot, and then they thought they had him. But he got down the other side, and then they could not find him. He ran 14 miles in 15 days, and never looked behind him. The Tailors and the Snail. 24 tailors went to kill a snail. The best man among them durst not touch her tail. She put out her horns like a little kylie cow. Run, tailors, run, or she'll kill you all even now. All around the green gravel. Around the green gravel. Around the green gravel, the grass grows green, and all the pretty maids are plain to be seen. Wash them with milk, and clothe them with silk, and write their names with a pen and ink. Intery-Mintery. Intery-Mintery, cuttery corn, apple seed, and apple thorn, wire, briar, limberlock, 5 geese in a flock, sit and sing by a spring, out and in again. Caesar's song. Bow wow wow, whose dog art thou? Little Tom Tinker's dog. Bow wow wow. As I was going along, a-singing a comical song, the lane that I went was so long, and the song that I sang was so long, and so I went singing along. Hector Protector. Hector Protector was dressed all in green. Hector Protector was sent to the Queen. The Queen did not like him, no more did the King. So Hector Protector was sent back again. Billy Billy. Billy Billy, come and play, while the sun shines bright as day. Yes, my Polly, so I will, for I love to please you still. Billy Billy, have you seen Sam and Betsy on the green? Yes, my Poll, I saw them pass, skipping over the new-mown grass. Billy Billy, come along, and I will sing a pretty song. Rock-a-bye baby. Rock-a-bye baby, thy cradle is green. Father's a nobleman, mother's a queen, and Betty's a lady and wears a gold ring, and Johnny's a drummer and drums for the king. The Man in the Wilderness. The man in the wilderness asked me, how many strawberries grew in the sea? I answered him as I thought good, as many as red herrings grew in the wood. Little Jack Horner. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner, eating of Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, what a good boy am I. The Bird Scarer. Away, birds, away! Take a little and leave a little, and do not come again. For if you do, I'll shoot you through, and there will be an end of you. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? Silver bells and cockle shells, and pretty maids all of a row. Bessy Bell and Mary Gray. Bessy Bell and Mary Gray, they were 2 bonny lasses. They built their house upon the lea, and covered it with rushes. Bessy kept the garden gate, and Mary kept the pantry. Bessy always had to wait, while Mary lived in plenty. Needles and pins. Needles and pins, needles and pins, when a man marries, his trouble begins. Pussycat and the Dumplings. Pussycat ate the dumplings, the dumplings. Pussycat ate the dumplings. Mama stood by and cried, oh, fie! Why did you eat the dumplings? Dance-Thumbkin-Dance. Dance-Thumbkin-Dance. Dance, ye merry men, everyone. For Thumbkin he can dance alone. Thumbkin he can dance alone. Dance, foreman, dance. Dance, ye merry men, everyone. But foreman he can dance alone. Foreman he can dance alone. Dance, longman, dance. Dance, ye merry men, everyone. For longman he can dance alone. Longman he can dance alone. Dance, ringman, dance. Dance, ye merry men, dance. But ringman cannot dance alone. Ringman he cannot dance alone. Dance, little men, dance. Dance, ye merry men, dance. But little men he can dance alone. Little men he can dance alone. Mary's Canary. Mary had a pretty bird, feathers bright and yellow, slender legs, upon my word. He was a pretty fellow. The sweetest note he always sung, which much delighted Mary. She often, where the cage was hung, sat hearing her canary. The little bird. Once I saw a little bird come hop, hop, hop. So I cried, "Little bird, will you stop, stop, stop?" And was going to the window to say, "How do you do?" But he shook his little tail and far away he flew. Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together, and so will pigs and swine. Rats and mice will have their choice, and so will I have mine. The Dusty Miller. Margaret wrote a letter, sealed it with her finger, threw it in the dam for the Dusty Miller. Dusty was his coat, dusty was the siller, dusty was the kiss I'd from the Dusty Miller. If I had my pockets full of gold and silver, I would give it all to my Dusty Miller. A star. Higher than a house, higher than a tree. Oh, whatever can that be? The Greedy Man. The greedy man is he who sits and bites bits out of plates, or else takes up an almanac and gobbles all the dates. The 10 o'clock scholar. A dealer, a dollar, a 10 o'clock scholar. What makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock, and now you come at noon. Cock-A-Doodle-Do. Oh, my pretty cock, oh, my handsome cock, I pray you, do not crow before day, and your comb shall be made of the very beaten gold, and your wings of the silver so gray. An icicle. Lives in winter, dies in summer, and grows with its roots upward. A ship's nail. Over the water, and under the water, and always with its head down. The Old Woman of Leeds. There was an old woman of Leeds who spent all her time in good deeds. She worked for the poor till her fingers were sore, this pious old woman of Leeds. The Boy in the Barn. A little boy went into a barn and lay down on some hay. An owl came out and flew about, and the little boy ran away. Sunshine. Hickamore, hackamore, on the king's kitchen door. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't drive hickamore, hackamore off the king's kitchen door. Willy-Willy. Willy-Willy Wilkin kissed the maids a-milking, fa-la-la, and with his merry daffing he set them all a-laughing. Tongs. Long legs, crooked thighs, little head, and no eyes. Jack Jingle. Little Jack Jingle, he used to live single, but when he got tired of this kind of life, he left off being single and lived with his wife. Now what do you think of little Jack Jingle? Before he was married, he used to live single. The Quarrel. My little old man and I fell out. I'll tell you what 'twas all about. I had money, and he had none, and that's the way the noise begun. The Pumpkin Eater. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Shoeing. Shoe the colt, shoe the colt, shoe the wild mare. Here a nail, there a nail, yet she goes bare. Betty Blue. Little Betty Blue lost her holiday shoe. What shall little Betty do? Give her another to match the other, and then she'll walk upon two. That's all. There was an old woman sat spinning, and that's the first beginning. She had a calf, and that's half. She took it by the tail and threw it over the wall, and that's all. Bedtime. The man in the moon looked out of the moon, looked out of the moon and said, "'Tis time for all children on the earth to think about getting to bed." Dance, little baby, dance, little baby, dance up high. Never mind, baby, mother is by. Crow and caper, caper and crow. There, little baby, there you go. Up to the ceiling, down to the ground, backwards and forwards, round and round. Dance, little baby, and mother will sing with the merry choral, ding, ding, ding. My little maid. Hi, diddle doubt, my candle's out. My little maid is not at home. Saddle my hog and bridle my dog, and fetch my little maid home. For want of a nail. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of the shoe, the horse was lost. For want of the horse, the rider was lost. For want of the rider, the battle was lost. For want of the battle, the kingdom was lost. And all for the want of a horseshoe nail. Pease porridge. Pease porridge hot, pease porridge cold, pease porridge in the pot 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot 9 days old. Ring-a-ring-a-roses. Ring-a-ring-a-roses, a pocket full of posies. Tisha, tisha, we all fall down. The crooked sixpence. There was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence beside a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. This is the way. This is the way the ladies ride. Try-tree-tree-tree, try-tree-tree-tree. This is the way the ladies ride. Try-tree-tree-tree, try-tree-tree-tree. This is the way the gentlemen ride. Gallop-a-trot, gallop-a-trot. This is the way the gentlemen ride. Gallop-a-gallop-a-trot. This is the way the farmers ride. Hobbledy-hoy, hobbledy-hoy. This is the way the farmers ride. Hobbledy-hobbledy-hoy. Ducks and drakes. A duck and a drake, and a halfpenny cake, with a penny to pay the old baker. A hop and a scotch is another notch. Slitherum, slatherum, take her. The donkey. Donkey, donkey, old and gray, ope your mouth and gently bray. Lift your ears and blow your horn to wake the world this sleepy morn. If all the world were apple pie, and all the sea were ink, and all the trees were bread and cheese, what should we have for drink? The bells. You owe me 5 shillings, says the bells of St. Helens. When will you pay me, say the bells of Old Bailey? When I grow rich, say the bells of Shoreditch. When will that be, says the bells of Stepney. I do not know, says the great bell of Bow. 2 sticks and an apple, rings the bells of Whitechapel. Halfpence and farthings, says the bells of St. Martin's. Kettles and pans, say the bells of St. Anne's. Brickbats and tiles, say the bells of St. Giles. Old shoes and slippers, say the bells of St. Peter's. Pokers and tongs, say the bells of St. John's. Little girl and queen. Little girl, where have you been? Gathering roses to give to the queen. Little girl, what gave she you? She gave me a diamond as big as my shoe. The King of France. The King of France went up the hill with 20,000 men. The King of France came down the hill and never went up again. Peter Piper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I caught a hare alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I let her go again. An equal. Read my riddle, I pray. What God never sees, what the king seldom sees, what we see every day. The Tarts. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole the tarts and took them clean away. The King of Hearts called for the tarts and beat the knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts brought back the tarts and vowed he'd steal no more. Come, let's to bed. To bed, says Sleepyhead. Tarry a while, says Slow. Put on the pan, says Greedy Nan. We'll sup before we go. Little Maid. Little maid, pretty maid, whither goest thou? Down in the forest to milk my cow. Shall I go with thee? No, not now. When I send for thee, then come thou. What are little boys made of? What are little boys made of? Made of? What are little boys made of? Snaps and snails and puppy dogs' tails, and that's what little boys are made of. What are little girls made of? Made of? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and all that's nice, and that's what little girls are made of. Bandy legs. As I was going to sell my eggs, I met a man with bandy legs and crooked toes. I tripped up his heels and he fell on his nose. The Girl and the Birds. When I was a little girl, about 7 years old, I hadn't got a petticoat to cover me from the cold. So I went into Darlington, that pretty little town, and there I bought a petticoat, a cloak, and a gown. I went into the woods and built me a kirk, and all the birds of the air, they helped me to work. The hawk with his long claws pulled down the stone. The dove with her rough bill brought me them home. The parrot was the clergyman, the peacock was the clerk. The bullfinch played the organ, we made merry work. A pig. As I went to Bonner, I met a pig, without a wig, upon my word and honor. Jenny Wren. As little Jenny Wren was sitting by her shed, she waggled with her tail and nodded with her head. She waggled with her tail and nodded with her head as little Jenny Wren was sitting by the shed. Little Tom Tucker. Little Tom Tucker sings for his supper. What shall he eat? White bread and butter. How will he cut it? Without ever a knife. How will he be married without ever a wife? Where are you going, my pretty maid? Where are you going, my pretty maid? I'm going a-milking, sir, she said. May I go with you, my pretty maid? You're kindly welcome, sir, she said. What is your father, my pretty maid? My father's a farmer, sir, she said. What is your fortune, my pretty maid? My face is my fortune, sir, she said. Then I cannot marry you, my pretty maid. Nobody asked you, sir, she said. The Old Woman of Gloucester. There was an old woman of Gloucester, whose parrot 2 guineas it cost her, but its tongue never ceasing was vastly displeasing to the talkative woman of Gloucester. Multiplication is vexation. Multiplication is vexation, division is as bad. The rule of 3 doth puzzle me, and practice drives me mad. Little King Boggin. Little King Boggin, he built a fine hall, pie crust and pastry crust, that was the wall. The windows were made of black puddings and white, and slated with pancakes, you never saw the like. Whistle. Whistle, daughter, whistle. Whistle, daughter, dear. I cannot whistle, mammy. I cannot whistle clear. Whistle, daughter, whistle. Whistle for £1. I cannot whistle, mammy. I cannot make a sound. Bell horses. Bell horses, bell horses, what time of day? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 and away. Taffy. Taffy was a Welshman. Taffy was a thief. Taffy came to my house and stole a piece of beef. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was not home. Taffy came to my house and stole a marrow bone. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was not in. Taffy came to my house and stole a silver pin. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was in bed. I took up the marrow-bone and flung it at his head. The Robin. The north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow. And what will the poor robin do then? Poor thing! He'll sit in a barn and keep himself warm and hide his head under his wing. Poor thing! The Old Woman of Harrow. There was an old woman of Harrow who visited in a wheelbarrow, and her servant before knocked loud at each door to announce the Old Woman of Harrow. Young Roger and Dolly. Young Roger came tapping at Dolly's window, thumpity, thumpity, thump. He asked for admittance. She answered him no, frumpity, frumpity, frump. No, no, Roger, no. As you came, you may go. Stumpity, stumpity, stump. The Piper and his Cow. There was a piper had a cow, and he had naught to give her. He pulled out his pipes and played her a tune, and bade the cow consider. The cow considered very well, and gave the piper a penny, and bade him play the other tune, Corn rigs are bonny. The Man of Derby. A little old man of Derby. How do you think he served me? He took away my bread and cheese, and that is how he served me. The Coachman. Up to Piccadilly, oh, the coachman takes his stand, and when he meets a pretty girl, he takes her by the hand. Whip away forever, oh, drive away so clever, oh, all the way to Bristol, oh, he drives her 4 in hand. There was an old woman. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread. She whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. A thorn. I went to the wood and got it. I sat me down to look for it, and brought it home because I couldn't find it. The Old Woman of Surrey. There was an old woman in Surrey who was morn, noon, and night in a hurry. Called her husband a fool, drove the children to school, the worrying old woman of Surrey. The Little Mouse. I have seen you, little mouse, running all about the house, through the hole your little eye, in the wainscot peeping sly, hoping soon some crumbs to steal, to make quite a hearty meal. Look before you venture out, see if pussy is about. If she's gone, you'll quickly run to the larder for some fun. Round about the dishes creep, taking into each a peep, to choose the daintiest that's there, spoiling things you do not care. Boy and Girl. There was a little boy and a little girl lived in an alley. Says the little boy to the little girl, "Shall I? Oh, shall I?" Says the little girl to the little boy, "What shall we do?" Says the little boy to the little girl, "I will kiss you." When I was a bachelor, I lived by myself, and all the bread and cheese I got, I laid up on the shelf. The rats and the mice, they made such a strife, I was forced to go to London to buy me a wife. The streets were so bad, and the lanes were so narrow, I was forced to bring my wife home in a wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow broke, and my wife had a fall. Down came wheelbarrow, little wife, and all. Sing, sing. Sing, sing. What shall I sing? Cat's run away with the pudding string. Do, do. What shall I do? The cat has bitten it quite in two. London Bridge. London Bridge is broken down. Dance over my Lady Lee. London Bridge is broken down with a gay lady. How shall we build it up again? Dance over my Lady Lee. How shall we build it up again? With a gay lady. Build it up with silver and gold. Dance over my Lady Lee. Build it up with silver and gold with a gay lady. Silver and gold will be stole away. Dance over my Lady Lee. Silver and gold will be stole away with a gay lady. Build it up with iron and steel. Dance over my Lady Lee. Build it up with iron and steel with a gay lady. Iron and steel will bend and bow. Dance over my Lady Lee. Iron and steel will bend and bow with a gay lady. Build it up with wood and clay. Dance over my Lady Lee. Build it up with wood and clay with a gay lady. Wood and clay will wash away. Dance over my Lady Lee. Wood and clay will wash away with a gay lady. Build it up with stone so strong. Dance over my Lady Lee. Huzzah! 'Twill last for ages long with a gay lady. March winds. March winds and April showers bring forth May flowers. The balloon. What is the news of the day, good neighbor, I pray? They say the balloon is gone up to the moon. A cherry. As I went through the garden gap, who should I meet but Dick Redcap? A stick in his hand, a stone in his throat. If you'll tell me this riddle, I'll give you a groat. The lost shoe. Doodle-doodle-do, the princess lost her shoe. Her highness hopped, the fiddler stopped, not knowing what to do. Hot codlins. There was a little woman, as I've been told, who was not very young, nor yet very old. Now this little woman her living got by selling codlins hot, hot, hot. Swan. Swan, swan, over the sea. Swim, swan, swim. Swan, swan, back again. Well swum, swan. 3 straws. 3 straws on a staff would make a baby cry and laugh. The man of Tobago. There was an old man of Tobago who lived on rice, gruel, and sago, till much to his bliss his physician said this, to a leg, sir, of mutton you may go. Ding dong bell. Ding dong bell, pussy's in the well. Who put her in? Little Tommy Lin. Who pulled her out? Little Johnny Stout. What a naughty boy was that, to try to drown poor pussy cat, who never did him any harm, but killed the mice in his father's barn. A sunshiny shower. A sunshiny shower won't last half an hour. The farmer and the raven. A farmer went trotting upon his grey mare, bumpity-bumpity-bump, with his daughter behind him so rosy and fair, lumpity-lumpity-lump. A raven cried croak, and they all tumbled down, bumpity-bumpity-bump. The mare broke her knees, and the farmer his crown, lumpity-lumpity-lump. The mischievous raven flew laughing away, bumpity-bumpity-bump, and vowed he would serve them the same the next day, lumpity-lumpity-lump. Christmas. Christmas is coming, the geese are getting fat. Please to put a penny in an old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, God bless you. Willy boy. Willy boy, Willy boy, where are you going? I will go with you, if that I may. I'm going to the meadow to see them a-mowing. I'm going to help them to make the hay. Polly and Sukey. Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle on, and let's drink tea. Sukey take it off again, Sukey take it off again, Sukey take it off again, they're all gone away. The death and burial of poor Cock Robin. Who killed Cock Robin? I, said the sparrow, with my little bow and arrow. I killed Cock Robin. Who saw him die? I, said the fly, with my little eye. I saw him die. Who caught his blood? I, said the fish, with my little dish. I caught his blood. Who'll make his shroud? I, said the beetle, with my thread and needle. I'll make his shroud. Who'll carry the torch? I, said the linnet. I'll come in a minute. I'll carry the torch. Who'll be the clerk? I, said the lark. If it's not in the dark, I'll be the clerk. Who'll dig his grave? I, said the owl, with my spade and trowel. I'll dig his grave. Who'll be the parson? I, said the rook, with my little book. I'll be the parson. Who'll be chief mourner? I, said the dove. I mourn for my love. I'll be chief mourner. Who'll sing a psalm? I, said the thrush. As I sit in a bush, I'll sing a psalm. Who'll carry the coffin? I, said the kite. If it's not in the night, I'll carry the coffin. Who'll toll the bell? I, said the bull. Because I can pull, I'll toll the bell. All the birds of the air fell sighing and sobbing when they heard the bell toll for poor Cock Robin. The Mouse and the Clock. Hickory-dickory-dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one, and down he run, hickory-dickory-dock. Hot cross buns. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns, if ye have no daughters, give them to your sons. Bobby Shafto. Bobby Shafto's gone to sea, with silver buckles on his knee. He'll come back and marry me, pretty Bobby Shafto. Bobby Shafto's fat and fair, combing down his yellow hair. He's my love for evermore, pretty Bobby Shafto. The bunch of blue ribbons. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Johnny's so long at the fair. He promised he'd buy me a bunch of blue ribbons. He promised he'd buy me a bunch of blue ribbons. He promised he'd buy me a bunch of blue ribbons to tie up my bonny brown hair. The Woman of Exeter. There dwelt an old woman of Exeter. When visitors came, it sore vexed her. So for fear they should eat, she locked up all her meat. This stingy old woman of Exeter. Sneezing. If you sneeze on Monday, you sneeze for danger. Sneeze on a Tuesday, kiss a stranger. Sneeze on a Wednesday, sneeze for a letter. Sneeze on a Thursday, something better. Sneeze on a Friday, sneeze for sorrow. Sneeze on a Saturday, joy tomorrow. Pussycat by the fire. Pussycat sits by the fire. How can she be fair? In walks the little dog, says, Pussy, are you there? How do you do, Mistress Pussy? Mistress Pussy, how do you do? I thank you kindly, little dog. I fare as well as you. When the snow is on the ground. The little robin grieves when the snow is on the ground, for the trees have no leaves, and no berries can be found. The air is cold, and the worms are hid. For Robin here, what can be done? Let's strew around some crumbs of bread, and then he'll live till snow is gone.